Well, this is how you can mix it with a shovel, you can mix it with a hoe, but this is how easy the stuff is. When you mix it together, you can use your hands, but if you don't want to use your hands because you're afraid you get dirt on them, well, I don't care to get dirt on mine. But when we do this, everybody's garden is going to be different. This is what we've been doing for years now, and we struggled in the beginning trying to get these things to grow. But when we seen Hollis and Nancy, this worked for us. I'm not gonna say it's gonna work for you, but it sure ain't gonna hurt. But we've done mixed up 2 batches. This is the last batch, and my peat moss, I got 3/4 of a bag left. So when you go buy stuff again, you don't have to buy peat moss. That'll last you like 3 rounds. So my next time we go buy the stuff, we'll probably buy, instead of 3 bags, probably buy 5 bags of each, and I'll still have a 1/4 bag of peat moss left, and that should be enough to about fill everything up. But you can use your hand, and like I said, you can grab it. It looks like it's staying together, but it falls apart. That's some great stuff right there. But like I said, this has worked for me and Paula. I'm not gonna say guarantee it's gonna be perfect for y'all. You just need to see what your soil's like. I said, we got rock. Go down 2 inches, you hit rock. That's why we got all raised beds. But every year we add more and more dirt, compost, and everything into our beds. And I churn it up. I fertilize it twice a year. I fertilize it in fall, and right before spring I'll fertilize it and I'll mix it all up again. So when we put our plants in, they have good dirt.
And you use organic fertilizer.
Yeah, we use organic fertilizer. You can use that 10-10-10 or stuff like that, but we use that 3-3-3, and it's all organic. And we've been using it for years, and a lot of people say, well, it's not really strong. I said, but
it won't burn your plants
it
up.
won't burn your plants up. And this year, we didn't do it last year, but we're going to take pictures of our tomatoes. After my tomatoes, they get about this tall. We're going to take a picture. We're going to show videos on how big these stalks are. They look like trees. They're so big. But this is what it looks like. This is our last batch. And like I said, I used to use my hands, and if there's big clumps of that dirt, I just mash it up, break it up.
So we had 6 bags.
Get off.
We had 6 bags, 3 compost and
Manure.
3 compost and manure, and then 3 topsoil, and
1 bag of peat moss.
1 bag of peat moss. And we've used about half,
a
fourth of the bag of peat moss.
Yeah.
So next time we'll just have to buy the compost and manure and topsoil and add with peat moss.
So,
and
this will be 3 rounds. I'll use this 1 bag will be 3 rounds of mixing here. So I'll mix up, let's see, 3, 6, 9, about 11 wheelbarrow loads. That'll be 11 wheelbarrow loads with 1 of those. Now you want to go buy Miracle-Gro? It's got fertilizer, it's got everything in it, but this has got manure, it's got compost, it's got sticks, twigs, and everything in it. You got the peat moss to help drain the water through it, and it'll help, instead of all your water just dissipating, this peat moss will hold on to this water, and your roots need it.
Your roots will have time to take it up.
So it won't dry out completely. But she can take you over there and show you what we've done so far. We're going to put this one in the last big bed we got down there.
So this is spinach I've got growing. I planted this probably about a month or so ago. You can plant spinach in the cold. It's cold hardy. It won't hurt it. So it has brought this dirt up. This is where I had squash last year. We'll put another load in there, which of course it's not time to plant squash. It's brought this one up. This is normally where we put our green beans, and we have a trellis here for them to climb over that Sean has made out of bamboo and fence. We brought this one up. This is where we will plant our peas, and we are going to be doing that today. And we'll plant peas here also. Plant them on both sides of the fence. This also has a trellis that was made with bamboo and fence, and they'll climb up. And they really like that. They do well in this. These onions were planted back in the fall, late fall, early winter, and you can see we can pull onions now. These are more onions. Yes, I've got some weeds in there I've got to get up. This is my garlic that I planted last fall. It's looking really good, really, really well. And these are some onions that I planted a little later than those. These are what is considered the walking onions. I don't know if you can see them or not. The camera keeps blurring because it's getting the fence. But these are the walking onions. And what they'll do is they will get a little head that comes up on the top of them. And on that, it'll be the seed pod. Instead of like an onion, it's got little bitty tiny seeds. Each one of these will have anywhere from like, I don't know, 3 to 4 heads, sometimes 5 I've seen. And then you just pinch that off, or you just let it fall off, and the onion continues to walk and grow and spread. But we're gonna raise this bed up. This is here because this is where we put cucumbers last year.
Yep.
They love it. They've got a good place to climb. This is a really good spot for them. They seem to do well here.
What's this right here?
Don't pull that up. That's a flower there in the end. That's a snapdragon that I started last year from seed. It's probably all together, honey. That will come back, and I do plant flowers within my vegetables because I want to
Bring as many pollinators as we
draw in the
Hey,
bees.
what's this thing right here? I don't know what that is.
I don't know. It's got some. I think it was also a flower. But
We put morning glories in.
well, we don't put morning glories.
I mean,
They just sometimes climb there. Marigold.
Marigolds.
We do put marigolds within them. Usually we will put basil in our tomato plants because basil makes your tomato plant sweeter. This is a cabbage from last year. I just left it.
It's coming back.
And you can see that it's coming back. It's getting leaves all over
A
it.
lot of shit
So.
coming off.
But you know, we try to grow as much as we can so that we don't have to buy as much. And then what we do grow, what God does bless us to grow, we do can that.
Yeah, everything.
So but I hope this has been helpful to someone who's also struggling with raised beds.
Don't. When we first put it, I was so frustrated because I didn't know that you were supposed to amend it. You had to use lime on it. You had to use fertilizer over and over and over. And every year they say pull your plants out. Don't leave them in the fall because you got bacteria and all kind of stuff that goes with them. It'll get into the soil. So we make sure to do that, but you pull a lot of dirt out. That's why this bed was so low, because this was all beans and purple beans, and they done fantastic over here. And they didn't get a lot of sun.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm assuming them purple beans don't like a lot of sun. But we had some purple beans that was that long. So if we have to, we'll put them back over here.
And this was also a permaculture bed too. When we made it, we took limbs and leaves and everything from over in here in the woods and
I dug a lot of topsoil
put in there
out here in the woods and used it. But it's great soil. It's just stuff that's composted through the years. But keep one thing in mind: when you get it, you're gonna have weeds,
roots.
It's hard to tell what's going to be grown. You'll be pulling it out.
Yeah.
That big bed, we pulled weeds out for 2 years.
Yeah, we fought a battle with that.
But you eventually get most of it out, and it don't come back as much, except for like wintertime. And I'm gonna try something that Hollis and Nancy do every year, is they cover their beds with tarps or plastic every year.
Mm-hmm.
That keeps all the weeds, when they uncover it, there's no weeds, because they got to breathe. So I'm gonna try that this year. After I amend after we get everything out. I'm going to fertilize it. I'm going to till it all back up, and before wintertime, I'm going to put down some tarps or plastic on top of it, and put rocks on top like he did. I'm going to see how that does, and if it'll help keep the weeds down, then we're going to do that.
But I do want to say also, and we live in Southwest Virginia, so we normally get quite a bit of snow. And I do want to say that snow is good for the ground, whether it's garden beds or your yard or whatever. It is good for the ground because it adds nitrogen, which is much needed in the ground because it's depleted during the summer and spring and fall because plants are using that. So, you know, you gotta kind of weigh your options there. What do you want to fight? But there's also a row cover that you can get once you put your plants in the ground. You can actually put that row cover down, cut slits in that, and then put your plants in. That will keep a lot of weed. It's kind of like a weed barrier. That will keep a lot of weeds down too. And we may do that this year.
A lot of these, like Lowe's and all these stores that we're over in the gardening section, you can buy those test kits for your soils and have them tested to see if it's like depleted. They need magnesium, might need lime.
Whatever.
It's hard to tell. Which we do a test, we get a scoop out of everything, and we send it off. And ours has never been bad. The only thing I had to do last year was put lime in, and I used I think it was a 50-pound bag, but that was for all my beds. We got a 4x4 bed out front, and that's just for our peppers. And peppers did fantastic last year, which we got to amend that. We got like 6 inches of dirt to add to that one. But don't get discouraged, because I was discouraged when we first did this, because nothing looked good, nothing looked healthy. But you just have to amend it every year. You have to take care of your dirt. If you don't take care of your dirt's not going to take care of your plants. You got to put lime in it. When the test says lime, I fertilize it twice a year. And when I fertilize, I cover the ground, and then I leave it, and I let the snow get on it. I let the rain get on it, and it absorb into the dirt all by itself.
Because it takes how long? 6 months or so, or 3 to 6 months for that fertilizer to get down into it, or the lime.
Lime. It takes fertilizer a little while just to get down to break down. But like I said, this year we're going to do another video. I'm going to show y'all when I put my tomatoes in these beds right here. After they get about 3 foot tall, 4 foot tall, and they start producing tomatoes, we're going to show you a video. Now this is taking a little handful of fertilizer, put it in it, you can't put the plant on top of it. Put a little bit of dirt on top of fertilizer, put your plant in, cover it up, and I can guarantee you'll have big tomatoes and big stalks.
Makes the plant healthier.
Lord, them things, they loved it. So that's what we're doing this year.
So we're going to go for now. We're going to go get our peas. If I can get my phone to pause, we will go get our peas and show you how we plant those. It's nothing to that. What are they, about 1/2 inch in the ground?
About a half. I usually sometimes put 3/4 inch, depends on dirt. But they don't seem to, even sometimes they're 1 inch, and it don't seem to bother them, and they just come up.
And tell them we'll also do a video about our watering, how we
catch our water,
how we catch rainwater, and that's what we water with.
I got 3 barrels over here that I catch water over here for just this garden, this garden area.
So we'll do that video once we. It's almost time to get those out. We're right now in the beginning of March, but it'll soon be time to get those set out to start catching those spring rains.
Yep.
So Paula and Sean here from our little home place, and we hope this has helped someone. Y'all have a great day.
Bye.